What is up, guys? Pastor Matheny here, and thank you for joining me today in my study. So there's no question about it. Oftentimes, life is filled with darkness, and darkness comes in all kinds of forms. Sometimes it's deeply personal, like a bout with depression or exhaustion, um, or the dark night of the soul. Sometimes it's much more public. Maybe it's an illness that a lot of people know about. Maybe it's some kind of a disaster that strikes one along with their communities. Um, maybe it's of a different sort. Maybe it's worldwide. Maybe it's a cultural malaise, or an affliction, or some kind of entrapment that people feel like they can't be free from. But there's no question about it. I think that all of us would say that at various times and in various ways, our lives feel very dark. And so I was thinking about that this morning and thought of just two brief passages from St. John's Gospel. The first one comes from his prologue in chapter 1, and it just says this: "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." He goes on to explain that a little bit more there, but I think it's very fully explained later on in chapter 8 of his gospel, where our Lord says, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." And I think these two verses are well worth bearing in mind because we Christians certainly are not immune from feeling like we live in a dark world, because we do. And very often the darkness even presses in on us, and it feels suffocating and at times overwhelming. But it's important to remember the words that St. John recorded for us. First of all, the light has shone in the darkness, and the darkness has not, and it will not overcome it. So even in a dark world, even at dark times in life, we are assured that the darkness will not triumph, that the darkness will not win, that the darkness will not and cannot overcome the light. And of course, as our Lord says, He is that light, and evil will not and cannot overcome Him. In his crucifixion, it looked like evil had won, but of course, in his resurrection, we are assured that that death, that the devil, that sin, that darkness, that wickedness cannot and will not overcome him. And his promise there in John chapter 8, that all who follow him will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of light, assure us that staying and remaining fixed on our Lord Christ and on his gifts that he gives us in his church, even though it feels like the darkness is pressing in around us, we are assured that, in fact, following him, we walk in light. So, brothers and sisters, I hope that this was helpful for you today. I would encourage you to meditate on these words and focus on them. Carry them with you, because when you come to dark places in life, remembering and believing that our Lord, in fact, is the light and that the darkness will not overcome him, is a powerful and a wonderful thing to do. So thank you for joining me today in my study. I hope to see you all soon. Peace.